Perhaps the most important topic that we'll talk about today is glove change. The way that an isolator typically fails is, first of all, human failure and incorrect entry and exit procedures. The second most likely is the gloves, that you get a hole in the gloves and it was not addressed properly. All right, so if you have a leak, you find a leak, a little tear in the glove, a pinhole, a mouse bites through, whatever, patch it as quickly as you can. Grab, you should have some vinyl tape nearby, but whatever tape you have in the facility is better than nothing at all. Just patch the hole and then go obtain a replacement pair of gloves and replace the gloves as quickly as possible. What happens if you're running the isolator in germ-free mode or for clean purposes and you have a puncture, you can still change the glove in place without taking all the animals out. So what you're going to do before you take the glove off, you're going to gather it up as close as you can to the top, and you're going to twist. And you're going to twist that good and solid. Don't be afraid that you're going to hurt anything. It will not hurt the material. And you're going to take some tape, and you're just going to wrap it around. I'd give it and really press that, really tighten it up there, nice, cinch it up nice, and break it off, okay? I'm going to hang my tape right up there, and you'll see why. So now, you can take you've sealed it off, the arm, you can take the glove off without contaminating what's inside. So now I'm going to start unwrapping the tape that's on the outside. Okay, so that, just discard that. And now I'm going to roll the rings off the cuff, okay? And just to explain what that looks like so that you see it, we have the ring that goes inside. It's a hard plastic ring. It's not at all flexible. And it has 3 ridges in it. And in each of these 3 ridges sits your O-ring, and that locks the glove to the cuff of the isolator. All right, that's what the O-rings look like. The little black O-rings. All right, so now we're going to roll those rings off and put them aside. You're going to reuse those. And now roll the inner ring off. Gets a little bit harder each layer that you pull off, but you get all 3 of them off. Then take your glove and just pull that free. And the black neoprene that we're using nowadays has a tendency to really stick, which is maybe one of the disadvantages of it. The advantage is that the black neoprene outlasts all the other gloves 3 to 1. So it's really what we recommend nowadays. We've had extensive testing by one of our major customers. Taconic has tested the neoprene gloves and they're really satisfied with the neoprene. And like I said, they last 3 to 1. So now what you're going to do is to take your glove sleeve, and if it isn't already marked, what you're going to find is that at the bottom, most isolators, on the bottom of the sleeve, at the base, you have the seam, and then across from that is the center. So you're going to just take a pen or a marker and fold the arm up and mark where the center is. Just a line, going in about 1.5 inches, maybe 1.25 inches or so, just like that, okay? Then you're going to take your glove and you're going to mark between the thumb and the forefinger. You're going to take it, and conveniently this glove kind of is folded right along that line. You're just going to make a corresponding mark, and trust me, it's a little bit tough to do and to see, particularly when we're using black gloves, but if you mark it, you will be able to see it. Now you're going to take your cuff, you're going to pull your glove onto that cuff ring. Okay, before you reassemble the whole assembly, now this is for positive pressure. What you're going to do is to take your sprayer and spray down into your sleeve. Give it a nice liberal spraying. If I were to guess, I'd say, about 50 mLs of cold sterilant down into there. You're going to hold that up so it doesn't drip all over the place, of course. You're going to take your glove, kind of fold it out, and spray that quite liberally all the way around. Then you're going to take that glove, and you're going to push it in, turn it, make sure that the fingers aren't pinched off, and you're going to turn it till the black line that you made on the glove and the black line at the center line up. And then you're going to just kind of pull it out evenly, just a little bit at a time, until that seats back in. And when it seats all the way around, nice and evenly, good, we're done. That's in. Okay, so now we're going to take this excess. Some people trim this off. I find it's useful to take it and just fold it back over all the way around. We folded it now so it's more or less even all the way around. It doesn't have to be completely perfect, but you want to get it pretty close to even all the way around. And now what we're going to do is take our rings and make sure that they're unkinked and straight. We're going to go to the inside ring and put our first on there, stretching that over, snapping that in place. Okay, so the inner ring, you're going to snap that in. Now the next is the middle ring. Snap that over. That's in place. And then the third and final ring, you're going to snap that in place. Just before we continue, I've just recently been informed by one customer that's doing germ-free work that they're getting a little bit of seepage right where that seam is. So what they do is they actually put a little bead of silicone down inside the cuff and then put the glove on over that, and then snap the ring in, and that seals it completely. It's questionable whether that amount of seepage would really be a problem, but in germ-free work it's very unforgiving, so you might want to consider just putting a little dab of silicone on those rings. Now the next part, also very important, is taping it. And so why is taping important? Taping is actually part of the seal. So what you're going to do is to take this whole thing, hold this in your hand, and then spin it, and really twist that off and tighten it up so that's nice and tight. And you know, it looks horrible, but it really doesn't hurt anything. You're going to take your tape. You're going to start on the inside, and you're going to go 2 full rotations around. Okay. And then you're going to come to the middle with 1 rotation to the middle. All right, and then you're going to start to the outside. And you're going to go 2 rotations on the outside. And it's 2 good full rotations to the outside. And now you're going to go back to the middle with 1 complete wrap to the middle. So it's 2, 1, 2, and then back 1. And then just snap that off. Now if you look where I'm at now, you'll see why I twisted it to begin with. I'm twisted it all the way in the opposite direction. If you didn't twist it to begin with, you'd be starting and stopping and starting and stopping. So it just makes it a little bit easier to twist it to begin with. So now we have the tape in here. You have your cold sterilant is in there. That's killing any germs, any bacteria, any fungus that was on the inside of the sleeve, the glove, came in through contamination from the air. We're going to let that sit for 30 minutes or whatever your kill time is that your facility management determines. It could be anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes to even an hour in some instances. But then once you're all set there, you can just go ahead and untape this, and you're back in business. And there we go. Now, we want to talk briefly about negative. The procedure is very much the same. You're going to replace the glove the exact same way, but you got to think what's important when you're running a negative operation. You're quarantining. You don't want what's inside to get out to the outside and potentially contaminate either your employees or animals. So what you're going to do is, with this same type of spray bottle, you're going to have that inside the isolator. And so before you start taking the glove off, you're going to spray from the inside into the glove arm, much the same way when we did the initial setup. You're going to spray down into the glove from the inside and saturate that. That little bit of Clydox that's going to be in there, or the other cold sterilant, isn't going to be enough to hurt the animals. You don't have to worry about that. So once you get that down in there and you've saturated that nice, you're going to twist it off again and then wait your kill time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you determine is the proper kill time for the cold sterilant that you're using before you unwrap it. I recommend, even if you're running on quarantine, then when you put the new glove back on, just as an added precaution, do the same thing you did in positive. Spray that glove, spray that arm, and put the glove back in place.